Hey guys, welcome back to another episode on Raji's Garage. Now a little bit different today. We are at Bonhams Auctions here at Goodwood FOS Speed. Card and Security have got a stand here. Thought I'd take some time away from the stand. It's Thursday, the first day of the show. It's lovely and warm outside. In here, air-cooled environment, and we have got a massive selection of cars here for sale. I'm just going to walk around, cherry pick cars that mean something to me, and I'm going to show you one car that I'm actually going to bid on. So guys, a lot of cars in this video, let's get into it. Most of the cars here are OEM, maybe OEM plus, but this is very individual. This is a 1975 Porsche 911S Coupe Resta mod to an ST. So basically somebody's taken this back to its skin and put their own stamp on it. It's a 2.4 litre engine, originally an American car. The restoration was only completed last year from the US in 2016. The sellers obviously spent a lot of money on it. I don't think this is the original colour. It's had reworked rear arches, so they're probably slightly blown out. But the exterior colour is one thing, and it's the interior here which is very, very, very unique, and dare I say it could put some people off on bidding on this car, because it's very, very, very individual. Sort of a purple color, purple leather with yellow stitching and purple cloth with the sort of orange finish that you've got on the external paintwork. So very, very, very individual. Even the dash, purple leather with yellow stitching. It says 8,000 miles, but that's probably not true, because obviously it's had an engine upgrade or an engine rebuild. Manual box. Weirdest thing is, I was here earlier on just listening to what people are saying. Some people thought it was a Singer. It's far from a Singer, guys. Guide price on this, 100 to 150k, which I think is about right. I think it's going to go towards the lower end of that mark though. With the magic of editing, I can actually show you how much the cars I'm looking at went for. This uniquely restored 911 ST, although estimated to sell for between 100 and 150,000 pounds, didn't end up meeting the reserve, holding at only 80,000 pounds. Maybe the interior colour combination wasn't to everyone's taste. So one for you Mercedes lovers, and you know, I don't think you've got to be a Mercedes lover to appreciate this car. This is a 1955 Mercedes 300 SL Gullwing. Gullwing, because obviously because of the way the doors open, very rare car. This has obviously been restored nut and bolt. You know, being best part of nearly 70 years old, it looks immaculate. Left-hand drive, I think they're all left-hand drive. Now, I know somebody who is very familiar with these cars, and he has told me these don't drive very well. They look a lot better than they drive. So this is a matching engine, matching registration numbers vehicle, ordered new with the desirable Rudge knock wheels, fully restored by Daimler-Benz between 89 and 1992, and that's visible in the paintwork and in the interior. 3 litre engine with 215 brake horsepower, 4-speed manual box, 0 to 60 in 7.5 seconds. So not very quick, but then again, it is best part of 70 years old. The original price for this car in 1955 was approximately £3,250. Guide price, these cars always fetch a premium. We're looking somewhere between 950k and 1.1 million pounds. So a lot of money, but you do get a lot of car. The Mercedes 300 SL Gullwing managed to hit right in the middle of its estimations, selling for exactly £1 million. Congratulations to the new owner on acquiring this stunning car.
Your bidder, Richard, 1555 at £1 million.
Just had a quick walk around, amazing selection of cars as you'd expect, and the level of each car is right at the top end of the market. Now, one car that's really caught my eye, it's this Ferrari 308. So for me, the 308 just brings back Magnum PI vibes. Tom Selleck, mustache, driving around in Hawaii in his undercover police car, or he's a private investigator and he's driving around in his undercover private investigator car, Magnum PI. And I've got to say, these cars look stunning. This is actually a left-hand drive example. It's a Targa, and I think these look really cool with the Targa top, especially when this section is removed. And if you're quite tall, you probably have to remove that anyway, just to get a bit of height. Elegant lines, not super quick cars, you know, by modern standards, but ultimately it's a Ferrari, it's a classic Ferrari, it's a V8 underneath there. You've got pop-up lights, you know, everything about this car shouts retro. And in fact, only recently in 2022, it had £17,500 spent on it for engine work and so on. And that's a big bill. Repainted in 2018 in obviously the classic Rosa Corsa paintwork, and hence why she does look very pretty. 5-speed manual box, which they all were, and top speed somewhere around 150 miles per hour. So this particular one, being a left-hand drive, is obviously going to go at the slightly lower end of the market. The guide price on this is somewhere around 40 to 50k, and obviously then there's going to be the auction fees on top. Nonetheless, still a lovely example, and as I said earlier, doesn't she look pretty? So some of you may know that I used to have a Ferrari, a 355. It was an F1 box, right-hand drive, lovely car, red with black interior. I sold that. I don't regret selling that car because I didn't warm with the F1 box, even though I had that car for 6-7 years. But I am on the hunt for another Ferrari again. In fact, I put up a social media post a few months ago. 348 or 355 has to be the manual box. If it's a 348, they're all manuals anyway. So at some point, there will be a classic Ferrari in Raj's garage collection. Fingers crossed soon.
One of Pininfarina's finest designs, this Ferrari 308, accompanied by extensive work done on the car, made for a fine investment. It managed to sell for £52,000, slightly above the projections.
52,000 and going, fair warning, all done then at 52,000, sold.
A car that I've never owned and probably will never own, but nonetheless I still do like them. It's a Porsche 928. This is a 1988 Series 4 SE. SE is short for sport equipment. Finished in this lovely sort of like Guards red colour, very clean looking car. Number 5 of only 42 built, so very limited edition run. Right-hand drive, manual box, guide price somewhere around 30 to 50k, and sold with no reserve. Cool thing about this car is the quirkiness. You've got the pop-up front lights, but it's the back. This rear angle of the rear section, no bumpers, you notice, looks so cool. Brings back memories of Dallas, because growing up I used to see these cars in Dallas. If you're not familiar with Dallas, just Google it on YouTube and watch a few videos.
If we're gonna have another baby, we got some work to do.
Well, if that's the case, I'll be home in 10 minutes.
For a lot of people, they would say this is not a true Porsche, because when you think of Porsche, you think of the 911, but ultimately the 928 was supposed to replace the 911. It's this front engine, where obviously the 911's a rear engine. This didn't do really well in terms of sales. It was a heavy car, V8, bit clunky, less reliable as well. But again, still lovely looking car. I love the 1980s design, the pop-up lights and so on. Yeah, these have actually a massive following, but for me, it's the original 911 that just does it for me every time.
Completely original and matching chassis numbers, this 928 holds strong value. Despite having no reserve, it sold for a healthy £26,000.
At £26,000, are we all done then? Here and selling, all done. You got it, sir, 26,000, thank you.
It's another interesting car, a Carrera 3.2. This is a narrow body, so don't be fooled by the big whale tail at the back. This is not a turbo body. My friend Javed has one of these, and he's had his for nearly 30 years. Black, with black interior, with white piping. Everything about it is period correct, from the wheels to the interior. 106,000 miles. So guide price on this is 50 to 70k, which I think is a bit rich, to be fair. I mean, condition wise, it's not bad. I wouldn't say it's mint, but I think that's at the top end of the market, because you'd have to pay Bonhams fees on top of that. But again, still a very good looking car. Now for me personally, it doesn't really do anything for me. I've driven one of these. I drove my friend's one a few years ago. A bit like a tractor gearbox, just trying to engage gear and so on. So I didn't gel with his car, and I have driven another since, and I didn't gel with that. So these aren't really for me, but I can understand the classic appeal of these, because obviously it has the original 911 silhouette. Not super quick cars, but enough power to have some fun.
Even with its rich history file and the ever-rising prices of these classics, this particular 911 Carrera 3.2, as I predicted, didn't meet its reserve value. Better luck next time.
45,000. Gavel is up, and it is falling at £45,000. 45,000. Thank you.
Now, this thing is absolutely special. It's a 1979 930 Turbo, but a little bit special. So it's got the Martini livery down the side. However, it's the color combo on the inside and a little signature on the outside driver's door, which is extremely special. Now, let me show you the interior first. So following on from the livery of the Martini stripes, on the interior you've got the white, the red and the blue padding. Very unusual, I've got to say. Looks a bit toy car-ish to me, but I get it because it's of this era. The engine in this, the 3.3 litre turbo, is very similar to the engine in my 964 turbo, although slightly detuned, but principally it's the same engine. White, as most of them were finished, although there is a black Martini behind me there. But one cool thing here is this signature. This has been signed by Magnus Walker in 2017. This is the car that started my love affair with Porsche. Let's get out and drive. Cheers, Magnus Walker. Now, the color combo and that signature is probably adding a little bit of provenance and value to this vehicle. I personally don't see that, but the guide price is somewhere between 200 and 250k. A lot of money for a 930 turbo.
Martini Porsche did end up selling. However, the rare trim and signature were not enough to meet the projection of £200,000. It sold for £165,000, just passing its reserve.
The car is selling. Any more then and going. Sold at 165.
Another special car, guys. A 1989 Lamborghini Countach, 25th anniversary edition. Looks absolutely mega. Obviously, just seeing this car here brings back memories of the Cannonball Run. Obviously, if you see one in white, then you think of Wolf of Wall Street, but these cars are so iconic from the 80s. This is, from what I've read here, one of only 67 right-hand drive cars, bar a little bit of blistering here. That'd be a worry, because if you've got that there, you don't know what's underneath, what's happening underneath. I actually prefer them with the wing, but from what I understand, the wing detracts from the driving experience and aerodynamically isn't great for the car. But yeah, these are iconic because of the scissor doors. That's such a cool looking car. Not a great driver's car, very poor visibility. If you look at the rear view from the window there, not much you can see. And this has electric windows, but only this portion of this window opens. So it's not the type of car you want to take to your local McDonald's and ask for a Big Mac and fries, because you'd have a probably difficulty getting it through that window. But ultimately, this is just one special epic car. Guide price on this is pretty high, 350 to 400k. Not sure if it'll achieve that, purely because I think the condition isn't the best, but we'll soon find out. I know the styling isn't to everyone's taste because it does look a bit like a transformer car. It looks like somebody's got a sports car and thrown body kit parts on top, you know, looks like it's been through Halfords, but this is part of that era. And back in those days, these cars looked absolute nuts. These are the cars that a lot of young kids had as posters on their wall. And I can understand why.
This Lamborghini Countach, being the latest iteration of the model refresh by Horacio Pagani himself, is an eye-catcher. However, upon closer inspection of its condition, the estimation of 350 to 450k proved to be a hard ask. As expected, it struggled to even pass £270,000, and the reserve was not met.
270,000. Internet, come back to me. 270,000 and going. That's 270.
So the first car that's caught my eye here is this gorgeous 1995 registered Porsche 993 GT2. Now, whenever you see one of these, the first thing you think it's a recreation, because there's probably more recreations than there are genuine articles. This is the genuine article. It's a Japanese delivered car. It's a left-hand drive. It looks phenomenal, amazing condition. Just a little bit of spec on this car, or in fact the GT2s. So it's a 3.6 air-cooled flat six engine, twin turbo. So it's based on the 993 turbo, twin turbo, but the all-wheel drive system is removed. So this is only rear-wheel drive. Removing the all-wheel drive system takes about 300 kilograms of weight away from the car. So super quick, very much an analog visceral drive. Must be an absolute animal on the road, and this is road registered. Stunning car, just check out the rear arches. So these were intended primarily for racing, but as I said earlier, this is a road legal car. You've got wider track on the front and the back. You've got these bolt-on arches, and literally are bolt-on arches. Massive rear wing for air intake, and you've got air intakes on this side of the wing here as well. You've got the intercooler sitting on the top. This is in fantastic condition. In terms of pricing, this has got only 34,000 kilometers. That's about 21,000 miles. One of 17 examples delivered new to Japan. Guide price of between 1.1 and 1.5 million pounds. So top end of the market, but it's one of probably the best ones I've seen. And I'll say it again, guys, this is the genuine article. Car must be a riot to drive on the road. You've got a lot more downforce, front and rear. You've got obviously different wing to the turbo, A for air into the intercooler and for downforce as well. Must be absolutely brutal on the road. As I said earlier, 300 kilograms less than my 993 turbo. More power, wider track, better gearbox. This car must be absolutely crazy. So this is out of my price range, full stop. It's one rare car. Good luck to whoever is bidding on this car, and I hope you get it at well below market value.
This 993 GT2, second in speed only to the McLaren F1 when it was around, was in no rush to leave. Unfortunately, it failed to meet the reserve and did not sell. Maybe one for next year, and hopefully I'll be there for it.
Last chance, 860,000. Gavel is up, and it is falling at £860,000. 860. Thank you very much. Good to see you, Guy. Thank you.
Before I finish the video, a big shout out to this stunning 1 of 10 SLR McLaren. Kept on static display since its acquisition by its first and only owner, it has covered a mere 60 kilometers on the clock. Manufactured between 2003 and 2010, the SLR allowed Mercedes-Benz and its Formula One partner McLaren to showcase their expertise in high-performance sports cars. Finished in red with matching silver arrow leather interior, this one-owner SLR McLaren is one of the rare Crown Edition variants. Listed with no reserve and estimated at between £250,000 and £350,000, the bidding started at £180,000 and relentlessly climbed, breezing past the upper projections to land at an impressive £490,000. I'm sure that previous owner is very pleased.
I have ahead of you 250 I have with the absentee. Not yours yet, Pierre. 250 I have. 280 online. 280 online. Going for a third and final time. Internet, are you in or are you out? The gavel is up, and I'm selling at £490,000. 490. Well done online. 6142. £490,000.
So guys, that's it from me. My little walk around video of the Bonhams auction here at Goodwood FOS Speed. I've shown you some of my top cars from the auction. There's some amazing cars here. So I've got no idea what these cars will achieve at the auction because I'm here 2 days before the auction. But no doubt when this video goes out, both you and I will know what these cars that I've shown you did achieve. Amazing selection of cars. Which is your best? Drop a comment below. For those of you that haven't been able to get to Goodwood FOS Speed, for those of you that haven't been able to get into the Bonhams auction site, well, I'll showcase you some of the cars. What's the car here that's really caught your eye? For me, it's got to be the GOAT. It's got to be the 993 GT2 that I showed you earlier on. So the reason why I came into the Bonhams auction is that I'm looking to bid on a car. It is actually the Ferrari 308. I'm glad that I've managed to come in and have a look because it's in better condition than I anticipated. I wish I had the kahunas and the money to bid on the GOAT, which is the Porsche 993 GT2, but I'm not there yet, maybe in a year or two. So let's see what happens. If I do get that Ferrari, you guys will be the first to know. But anyway, let me know from all the cars that I've shown you, which is the car that you think you would bid on. Some amazing cars here, guys, absolutely amazing. You know what you need to do, you need to smash the like button and make sure you're subscribed to the channel. I'll be back on Raj's Garage soon and normal content will be resumed. See you later.